Campbell, and in today's YouTube video, I am going to teach you the difference between Mod Podge and matte medium, talk about when to use each one, where, and why, and a cool little project to do along with you too. So grab your art supplies and come on, let's get crafty today. This is a real-time tutorial today, you guys, so make this with me. It's right out of my book, Mixed Media Magic. The project is no cut flowers, and these are the supplies that you need. Canvas panels, some scrapbooking paper, paints, matte medium, white gesso, foam brushes, a Stabilo all pencil, glue gun, scissors, and buttons. Let's do this. And we're going to add to this project Mod Podge because it's by doing the project in real time using both materials that we can really understand the difference of how they work. And if you're not familiar with my work, my name is Campbell. I'm the author of many fun art instructional books, and I have two YouTube channels, one for mixed media, one for drawing. This is my mixed media channel, and I'm super happy to have you here. My job here on YouTube is to make everything really straightforward and easy so that when you're getting creative at your art journal or at your easel, you know exactly what to do and you can have fun. All right, first I think we need to have a little definition as to what really is Mod Podge and what really is matte medium before we can talk about which one to choose, right? So Mod Podge, as I'm sure you know, it's been around for like 50 years. I buy it by the gallon, I just love it so much. Oh yeah, and that's the thing too. Like I don't like have a favorite because I love them both equally and amazingly and deeply. So just know I don't have like any weird like fine art fancy schmancy preference. Like I literally love them both so much. So let's just talk about why you would pick one over the other, okay? Because they have very similar qualities. Okay, so Mod Podge, and there's a lot of varieties of Mod Podge. I'm just going to be talking about Mod Podge, Glossy, and Matte. I think we all know what those are. So it's a water-based sealer, so you use it with other water-based products only. It's a glue and it's a finish. Okay, so let's just talk about those things for a second. I really think they should have glue first, sealer second, finish third. I feel like they went out of order there because the sealant is something you put on top, right? Like a top layer. Glue is something you're using as an adhesive. All right, we know what that means. And a finisher could be like a top coat. And then it does also say in the directions to reduce tackiness, you need to use an acrylic spray. It says it right on the directions, and that is a yes, yes, and a yes. So if you're using this in your art journals as your final sealant layer, you really do have to use an acrylic spray sealer on top to stop the tackiness. That issue comes up all the time, and I'm super bad at reminding people to do it, but that's actually super important. All right, so that's cool. We know what those things are. So matte medium, let's talk about matte medium, my other favorite product. What the heck is this sucker for? I talked about mediums and what those were last week in my video about like what to start with your mixed media project. Matte medium is an acrylic medium. The word medium means that it is used with acrylic paints. You can use it under, in the middle, over, mixed it in, and depending on which medium you choose, it like changes the behavior of the paint when you mix them. So some make them go longer, some extend the drying time. There's just, you know, some make them glossy, some make them matte, some make them ultra matte. So every medium, there's fluid, there's gels, they all have like different little things about them, which changes your paint, which gives you different results. So you can choose the mediums which give you the result that you're looking for. Matte medium is just my personal favorite. You might like a gel. That's just textural. Like I like fluid. This is a fluid product, so it's you can see it's, oh maybe you can't. It's like glopping around in here. It's very loose. You know what I mean. You know what fluid is. Okay, they also have, there's gels. Gel is another option for you, and that's just a different consistency. Okay, and you just choose the one that you like the best. But the mediums, not all mediums, but most mediums, especially matte medium, you can also use as a glue. Okay, so we have two glue choices. And when we get to the project, I'll tell you which one to use and when. Okay, it also, again, it mixes, I'm reading just from the directions, I'm not making this up, you guys. You mix it with acrylic color or other mediums. It says on here, do not use as a final varnish. So it's telling you right now, it is not a finisher, which this one is. So there's your first big, so they're alike in that they both are glues, but they're separate because this one is not to go on as your final coat. Okay, so you don't finish with this one. Also, do not mix with oils. Again, water-based products do not hang out with oil-based products. How do you know which one to use when? Well, the answer lies in if you are going to be using them with paint or not. Just paint. If you take the paint part away, you can use Mod Podge all day long. You can use it, oh, and I've used it to decorate my shoes. I've used it to decorate foam heads because, again, no paint. There's no paint on here, but you can glue so that I can, oh, it's really dusty, sorry. I've had them for a long time. I love my foam heads. But you can glue things, so you can glue collage. So that's why Mod Podge is so well known for being used as collage adhesive. But again, there's no paint on this one, okay? I also use Mod Podge in all of my mixed media projects. If you're familiar with my Mixed Media Hamburger system, you know Mod Podge is so layer 4, okay? And so I use it after I put all the collage down, after I paint, then I put my Mod Podge layer on. Why? Because it's a water-based sealer. So it seals all my coats in. Now, can you use other products? Yes. And I have a whole nother video about that, which I've already done. So I will put a link in that in the description box for you if you want to go read that. I think I tested 7 or 8 alternatives to Mod Podge. Okay, so there are, but we're just talking about Mod Podge and matte medium today. You can use Mod Podge if you're not using any paint. Using it to glue things on is always fine. It's a great glue. I actually, here, I'm gonna take you camera. I've actually have some more examples of how I'm doing this, like the side of my cabinet here. Okay, so this is, these scrapbooking papers are just Mod Podged on, okay? So look, it's just glue. This one, I have Mod Podge, Sparkle Mod Podge over the canvas, okay? And then I sprinkled a glitter, well, it's Sparkle Mod Podge because it has sparkles in it, and then I actually just shook glitter into it, so it glued down all the glitter pieces onto her tail, but it's over the acrylic paint. Okay, so that's like the biggest difference. This is after paint. This is before and during paint. Okay, so if you're gonna be painting on top, then always start with matte medium. It's also like a surface prep product in and of itself too. You can start a canvas with that. So this, gosh, I do have collage under here. I start most of my mixed media with collage. So when I do that, okay, so when I'm doing these projects, this one, there's here, you can see the texture under here. So I glue the tissue paper or the napkin or the scrapbooking paper on with matte medium because matte mediums are supposed to go with paints. They're specifically made to work with your paints. So you can use them all day long, and then you know that when you're applying the paint, in this case it was spray paint, and then I followed up with just regular paint that I applied with a paintbrush, but it will always work really, really well. So I think the most common confusion is like, well, why can't you use Mod Podge for the very first collage layer? And the answer is because it's not made to be painted on, okay? Because it dries to like a plastic non-porous surface. And acrylic paints like a little porousness to adhere to. That's why we start so many of our projects off with gesso, because gesso prepares the surface for you so that you can paint on top. So you could like Mod Podge everything and then maybe do like a clear gesso on top. I hate clear gesso. It's so like textury and granular. That's just me, I know, but I hate clear gesso. So again, these are my personal preferences, but in my opinion of this is like, let's use the art supply products that are specifically used with their intention in mind. Like I'm using these products because they were specifically designed in a certain way. So I like to respect that way. So matte medium, you can collage all day long, and if you're gonna be painting on top, you start with that, because paint loves it. And wouldn't you wanna start off on the right foot instead of starting with Mod Podge and then having to like fix the surface again? Like I like, okay, I got my collage down, I'm ready to go paint. This is like plasticky surface. Now do I have to gesso on the Mod Podge? Like I just wanna paint already. So isn't that nice to be able to just paint? So let's do a project together. It's gonna be very simple and it's gonna be very fun, and I'll just show you the order as I go, and that will hopefully like drill these little differences and these details in, and then you won't have any more questions and any more confusions when you sit down to do your own art projects. And hopefully you'll do this one with me as well. I'm taking the inspiration directly out of my Mixed Media Magic book, which I did a few years ago. But it still inspires me, and hopefully if you have it, it's still inspiring you as well. This is going to be a variation of the No Draw Flowers project, which is on page 40. Okay, so we're going to do a variation of this. All right, go get some scrapbooking supplies. Hopefully you have some matte medium or gel medium or something that you can collage with, because that's what we're going to be doing. Hopefully you do have some Mod Podge kicking around as well, so I invite you to come be crafty with me. If not, you can watch and demo, and then you can do your own project at a later date. Oh my god, look at these houses! I went to go get my scrapbooking paper and this was right on top. Hells to the bells. Yeah, we're using this today. No hesitation there. This is gift wrap. I got this at Tuesday morning before COVID. Has like the most random and yet awesome assortment of mixed media supplies. All right, just so you know. Okay, so these are materials. We need a canvas panel, check, scrapbooking paper, yes, sheet music. Actually, there's, you know what's crazy? There's music in here too. If we're following along, look at that. That's so weird. Okay, acrylic paints. We're gonna be grabbing those to match the paper. Oh, look at that, I say, match your papers. We're gonna be using matte medium, gesso, foam brushes, of course the Stabilo All pencil, glue gun, scissors, buttons. I might use like puffs or something today. And then we are gonna be using Mod Podge. I'm doing a variation today because I want you to see how you can use Mod Podge on top. And in fact, I should have sealed this afterwards with Mod Podge. And it's funny to me that I didn't do that. But I do distinctly remember writing that book and thinking I should have a project that doesn't involve Mod Podge because people are gonna think I have a problem. And really I do. I'm just gonna confess right here. Right, so let's get all the supplies we need out and then we will begin. Okie dokie, so I have my scrapbooking paper. I chose another sheet because I'm literally following along. It says now pick out, so it says pick 2 sheets. Now pick out 2 or 3 paint colors. I like this one because it matches this house and it also matches this one. Excuse my mess. We're not supposed to see that zoomed out version. Okay, and then in step 3 it says tear off corners of one of the scrapbooking papers. Again, this is on page 42. All right. Oh, that's not very much. Gift wrap. Just kind of, oh, awesome, because it's even lighter than scrapbooking paper, so it makes for great collage. So I'll have some in the corners, because what's going to happen is that these will go in the corners like this. Oh, I like it already. This is all I have. So we can do this first, and then put the scrapbooking paper on top. Or this house paper on top, or we can do it vice versa. All right, let's get going. So I got my matte medium here. Now I'm using matte medium because it's a glue, right? That's specifically going to be working with paints, and it's meant to go with paints, and that's why I'm using it for this layer. Now when I use matte medium, I use a ton of it because it is a liquidy and it's super thin. So, so it like absorbs and kind of goes away quickly too. So I use lots. You see how thin it is? And I use lots on it and under it. And I'm gonna be painting. And I'm like, now I'm no worries because this is magically made to go with paints. And I will just show you, like, for example, this gel gloss, okay, is a different form of medium. See how different that is? It's a beautiful, I do love this. So if you were working with heavier materials like cardstock, and like cardstock has a mind of its own because it's really heavy duty, and so it's hard to get it to stick down sometimes, then I would recommend grabbing one of the gel mediums because it has a heavier body to it. And so it can be a stronger glue. But again, I wouldn't use matte medium. I wouldn't use Mod Podge for this step. Now this is glossy and this is matte, so that's a little bit wonky. That's a little crazy. But these are both, again, I'm using the fine art products that are meant to go with paints. Mod Podge is really just glue, but an amazing sealer. It's really so much more than glue, but it's not for paints. I guess this could have really just been like a 20-second video where I just said those words and I could be done. But I think it's important to like go through the process of why and also where, because I will be layering on top. And you know what? When you're working with these mediums, girls, you got to get in there. You know what I'm saying? You got to get dirty. Because, oh, look at that. And this is also, I don't like the gel, the gloss mediums. I don't feel like I don't have this issue when I use matte medium because it's so liquidy. See, I'm having issues and I'm having to redo this one. When it gets wrinkly and yucky, it's because you don't have enough. If it's good and saturated, you don't have problems. This is why I choose matte medium every time and why I don't use the gels. Experience does not lie. The experience is why I go back to matte medium every single time. It just works better for me. And please, if you have a favorite product, keep using it. I'm not trying to get in anybody's way. Everybody has things that they prefer, and that's just personal preference, and that is so fine. I know that. I don't have every answer for every human. I'm just telling you what I like and why and showing you how it works. But you are so entitled to your own opinion. I totally respect that. And I know that people have been around in this space a hell of a lot longer than I have. And you guys, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. And it's all good because we're all here for the same reason, which is to have some fun. So let's do it. All right, so we have our sheet here. Let me see about cutting this down. Actually, no, let's not get fussy. Let's just rip it. I don't have time. I got kids and virtual schooling upstairs. I got a lot of momming to do yet today. Oh, actually, I just ripped that in the wrong place. I kind of want to go down this way. You guys moms watching, you have your own issues going on, I'm sure, like I do. My kids are in school year round. Oh, that's like really nice. See what covers a lot of it. All right, again, this needs to be nice and juicy. I think a lot of times people have issues with matte medium. They don't put enough on. You make this like crazy juicy wet. Take your nice sponge and like slather it on. You can even put it on the back of the page too. Okay. And then, oh my gosh, I love this paper so much. And then I'm scoring it on top. Okay, because this helps you kind of like work it in. Some of it too will penetrate down. If you're getting wrinkles, get in there with your fingers and smooth them out. Okay. I like force them down. And a lot of times you can, you got to be the boss and really get in there and make them lie down. But every inch of this should be covered with a nice, juicy layer. Okay. Now, I have no patience. So you're not gonna ever see me say the words, okay, now I'm gonna let that dry overnight. Like that does not happen in my world. Everything, if you can't survive my hair dryer, it doesn't exist. So I'm gonna blow this dry with my hair dryer. I like a hair dryer better than a heat gun because I like the wind to help speed the drying process, and the heat gun is slower, and I have no patience. I have too many things to do. So yeah, I love the little wrinkles that it makes. Actually, it makes nice texture. But see how I'm like getting in there, okay? So you don't want bubbles. Bubbles are not okay, wrinkles are fine. So I'm smoothing down the wrinkles. It gives it a nice texture. And I'm just using the force of my hand. Get rid of those, and I'm gonna blow it with my blow dryer. I want the force of the wind from the blow dryer to dry this sucker super fast. All right, and it's dry in like a minute. It is so funny. As I was drying, I was reading my steps. It was so weird. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't looked at this since I published it 2017. And here we are. Adhere the paper to the canvas pan but using matte medium. Make sure to use plenty of it and apply it both under and on top of the paper. See, we just did that. Glue it. Again, be sure to use lots both under and over. Use your fingers to push down any wrinkles that have formed. That's its whole step all by itself. So there you go. All right, so I like to apply paint in weird ways. I used a paintbrush in this book. Today, I'm gonna use a credit card just for shits and giggles. Yeah, because I want to, because I feel like it. That's the best part of mixed media right there. Why? Because I felt like it. Although that being said, I do feel like having these little rules and tips to help. It's easy to say because I feel like it, but that's only because I kind of know what the rules are already. So I know which ones I'm allowed to break. All right, so I'm just squeezing down. If you don't know, I have a signature paint set. Actually, I have 3 signature paint sets with Jerry's, which just means I was able to like pick out my favorite colors and group them up. And this one is from I forget which one this is one. This is Viridian. It's one of my favorite colors. I think it's from my Fairy Faces collection. So I like scraping it because it catches on the fun, like some of that fun wrinkles that we have. It kind of catches it there. Yeah. So there's kind of our funky, edgy border. And look, because I use my medium's base and not my Mod Podge, I don't ever have to worry about this paint coming off or peeling or not adhering properly because I used it on top of a medium. So I didn't have to like start with gesso. I was ready to go with paint. It's not all the time. I don't all the time like to start with gesso. I like to add color right away. So yeah, so you don't need to, which is kind of refreshing. You get to skip right to the painting part. Again, I'm gonna use my hair dryer and get this sucker dried. All right, so now I'm gonna put gesso down, but I'm not putting gesso down for any other reason other than I want to knock back the background a little bit so that when I put my flower on, you can see it better. That's the only reason I'm using gesso. Gesso has a lot of uses, and I have done videos on that before, but sometimes it's just because it's like the perfect transparency, frankly. You know, it's like the perfect kind of watered down white. So again, I'm kind of just following my directions, kind of knocking back some of this stuff, but I can see the houses, and my flower is gonna go here, so I can leave it a little, I like leaving the houses a little bit more out there. Also kind of like helps shut the green up. The green's like a little loud and obnoxious. So putting the white everywhere kind of like puts it in its place, like settle down green, we see you, relax. Needs a little discipline, mom action. All right, Sweet. Again, I'm gonna dry with my hair dryer. Great reason for this, or the reason I love this tutorial is that you don't need any drawing skills in order to do this. You could even rip all these things too. So I'm gonna just cut my kid scissors, evidently. Cuts really quickly, just some fun, like, scrappy flower shapes. And just a little hint, if you want your papers to match more or less, you can just use from the same, like, pack. Because usually, generally, papers, when they're sold, you know, they go together on purpose. So if you just use them, it takes all the guesswork out of them. Now those are a little bit close together. Like I can't really tell them apart that well. So I might use the sheet that's like in between that size. You're basically gonna create 3 circles from 3 different pieces of paper. And then when you layer them, that becomes the flower. Oh, so cute. Maybe we'll do like a swirly thingamajiggy. Because why not? Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. I'm so sorry. Don't even know how this is gonna go. Just cutting in a swirl. Boop. This is even, what am I even doing? Oh, that's cute. Can we do that? This is like over my head, all right? I'm in my trouble. I'm in crafting trouble, ladies. What have I done? How do I make that show up? I can spread it out. I'm a mess. It's really 2. Maybe we need to do this. What if we rip that there? What did I do? Oh, there we go. I knew I was so close. Oh, it's like math and circles are over my pay grade. Okay. This is like a little extra wonky. All right, so that's a cute little layered flower. All right. All right, so I was just looking, I think like this is so dark and this is so light. I wanna bring in a little more light colors. So this apricot looks very similar to this flower. So to help tie the background into the foreground, which is the flower, I'm gonna just put a little bit of, maybe I'll credit card this on. I'll just put a little of this apricot. So repeating colors lightens it up a little bit. You could also do pink. Repeating the colors helps tie in everything. So whatever you put in your foreground, just pop it in your background or vice versa. And we're still at the like painting early stages. Okay. So my cat is flipping out. That's hilarious. So that ties it in a little bit better. And yes, I just confirmed these colors are all for my painting fairies' faces. Zoe, what is it? What is it? It's mewing. At Jerry's Artorama, because I kind of left you hanging on that one. All right, so let's glue these together. And if you wanted this to stand out even more, you can also, oh, that's matte medium, hilarious. You can add not the right, you can add some gesso is what I was gonna say. We'll just mix that in with the matte medium, how's that? We'll do them both. But that will, and you can do that because gesso is an acrylic based product. It's looking very scrumbly. So you can use them all together. Matte medium, gesso, acrylics all behave wonderfully together. So you can still use right now matte medium if you want, but you have to be done. Or you can use Mod Podge. But if you grab Mod Podge now, it means you're done painting. Okay, and I don't know if I'm done painting yet, so I'm gonna stick with the matte mediums. You see how that's a very like pivotal choice right there. So that's solely, it all goes back to where you are with your painting. So if you're like, I'm done, I'm ready to lock this in, then, oh, I hope I don't have gesso on here anymore. That would really stink. I really should, let me grab a new foam brush. Lord knows I only have 50,000 of them. And get one that doesn't have gesso on it. And I do reuse these. I'm just in the middle of filming, obviously, so I want to make sure. Oh, look at that. I think I had green on my finger. Matte medium. Here we go. New brush, devoid of color. Okay. So again, if I'm done with painting, then you switch to your Mod Podge. I don't know if I'm done yet. And if you're not ready to decide, then you repeat with your matte medium. Oh, it's so pretty. Maybe we should make like 2 little cute buds off to the sides. Yeah, why not? Let's see, one could be in this color, or should we do one in the little unicorn? I don't know why I feel the need to rip everything. I could just, my scissors are literally right there. You could also use punches. I love punches. I have a mazillion of them. A majillion, that's a super word. So again, don't know if you're done painting, use your matte medium. One, let's do another one. We don't waste this little paper. And, oh, maybe we'd have a cute one like being wonky up here. Hearty amounts of matte medium. Maybe we'll do one more down here, because I like 3s. They're always nice. We'll put it right here. We could even make a little like planter pot at the bottom, or we could just have the stems going off. What do you think? What do you think we should do? Let's see, I got my papers. I like threw them on the floor. Oh, although it covers up all the little houses if we do this. But at the same time, I think it would be so cute. Have a little vase. Maybe it's this direction. Oh, I like that. Cute. Sorry, housey. Just cut you right out of the picture. Well, a girl has a right to change her mind. It's the beauty of mixed media. All right. All right, now I have to have a little think if I'm done with the painting in the background. All right, so here's another pivotal point. I am at the point where I'm ready to draw. I'm on step 12. Okay, so I glued down all of my little flowers, and then I'm gonna use my Stabilo all pencil and draw stems and circle each circle flower cutout. Okay, so this has to be dry first, so let's dry that fully with a hairdryer. All right, it's getting to be last call for paints, okay? I decided this needs to get knocked back a little bit more. It's like extra rough, and I feel really frazzled because I think my kids went back to school, and I'm like a little like, what's happening with them right now? Should I be checking in? So I'm going a little ultra faster than I normally would. All right, but I do think this had to get knocked back a little. All right, I don't like the directionality of that line that I just made. Sweet. Too late now. Okay, so I'm knocking this back a little bit. That's a little bit better. I just need like a tiny bit up here. It's like a little rough. It's a little extra edgy. I like edgy, but it's rough even for me. Okay, I guess I'm just subduing the whole background at this point. All right, okay, we'll go with it. All right, so now my background has been put in its place by the gesso layer. And again, this really should be dry before you go on. So if you need to, just get your hairdryer out. Blast that sucker. If you prefer heat gun, use a heat gun. If you want to wait overnight, you go. But I ain't got that kind of time. Oh no, my light went out. No. Need our lights on. Come back. Come back, lights. Oh, there we go. All right, step 12, use your Stabilo all pencil. Draw stems and circle each circle color, flower, cutout. I can't talk. All right, but bing, bing, bing. Stabilo all pencils are super water reactive. So if you, because we haven't done our Mod Podge layer yet, if you don't want the smear effect that will happen, don't use a Stabilo all pencil, okay? Just because I'm doing it does not mean you have to do it. I like the effect. If you hate it, then I do not recommend using one. Just grab a regular color pencil. And you don't have to do black either. You can do whatever color you want. But I like the edgy, crazy, reactiveness of that. That's just me, and I know that everybody's not like me, and that is fine. Don't worry about it. Don't feel sad. Don't feel like you're missing out. Just skip it, because you'll be super mad if you do it and you decide that you don't like it, okay? Because it looks innocent, but when we do add the Mod Podge layer, which is going to be right now, you know, there's consequences. I'm also going to rub this around the edges. Okay, so as I ready my canvas, we are gonna switch to Mod Podge now. Mod Podge now. Okay, so this is because we are done painting. If you still wanna be painting, you don't do Mod Podge yet. But I'm like done, so I'm ready to seal. Remember, Mod Podge is a glue and a sealer, so we're using it for its sealing properties, and we didn't use it for its glue properties because we were using paint with it, and it doesn't go well with paint. So we need our Mod Podge. You can use glossy, you can use matte, you can use whatever you want. Okay, and as a little hack, if you do like Stabilo and you like messing around with it, but things do tend to get out of control and that scares you, have on hand a few foam brushes, okay? Because you can get a lot more control if you switch out the dirty ones as you go. If it gets too crazy, you can just switch. So as you saw, I put a lot of Stabilo down. And again, Stabilo is not for everyone. So why Mod Podge now? Why not matte medium? I use matte medium in my Mixed Media Magic book because this is the sealant layer, and it seals all the layers that we have under here are gonna get sealed down. And I can actually go back to that project I did in that book and go ahead and put Mod Podge over the entire thing. I probably did, actually, because that's me. Okay, so we are doing the sealing portion of this right now. And what's going to happen is when it hits the Stabilo, again, it reacts like crazy. So if you do not want this to happen, do not use the Stabilo. We're not going to do the Stabilo and then try to freeze it and fix it. You're just not going to use it. Okay? I like live for it, but that's just me. Okay, so we have the kind of edgy. Now, if this gets really dirty, which I suspect it is because I just activated it all around the edges and stuff, that's why we have our fresh bunch. Now these I just washed, I reused these a million times, so don't feel like you're wasting it. But see, this is like, that's got really yucky and dirty, so I'm gonna put that in a bucket of water off to the side, and I'm gonna grab a new one that's not dirty yet. Okay, so I can outline my little vase here and seal up the layers underneath. Now this is gonna be swirly and it's gonna activate. Oh, and see how dirty that is? Again, I'm gonna dip that in my water, grab a fresh one. You can actually use a new one to like clean up and carve out a different space. I can also keep some paper towels next to me as I go and blot. See how dirty that is? And just remove it with my paper towel, go back, okay. Whee. Super dirty. Too dirty, you can use a paper towel to wipe off the extra, go back in, kind of remove some of it. Too dirty, put it off to the side. Go in with a clean one. Activate the layers as we roll around. And I do aim to cover every little square centimeter of this with the Mod Podge. You can also do layers. So if you do some, you could dry it and then go back and finish it. You can do it like in stages. So once you hit the Stabilo with the Mod Podge, it will freeze it. But again, don't do damage control. Like if you don't want it to smear, just please avoid using the Stabilo. It's a million times easier to just not use it than to try to fix all the things, because it will get crazy. But again, like that's my favorite part, but that's just me. And you definitely have to kind of be okay with like giving up control of the situation. All right, I feel like I have it everywhere because I did the edges first and then I worked my way in. So I'm gonna actually just hit this with my blow dryer really quick because again, it dries really fast. And then I'm gonna probably do another coat of Mod Podge, seal it even more awesomely. And then you can see when you look at it, you can see what parts are like missing it. Then I will hit it again. Okay. So having that collection of clean sponge brushes next to me was a savior. Hopefully that's a good hot tip that you can take with you as well. I'm gonna dry this really quick. All right, and then the next step is to glue these buttons on. Now you could actually use the Mod Podge to glue these on, but because these are such big buttons, I don't think if that's enough to keep them on, because these are really bulky. So you could definitely use your hot glue gun, and hot glue and Mod Podge go together awesome. So because they're both kind of plasticky, so they bond really strongly to each other, which I love. I actually am gonna pop some buttons like around the edges too. So fun, get my glue gun ready. I'm gonna add some cute little button accents to this piece. Okay, I'm a little obsessed with these buttons. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm gonna put them with my glue gun. Maybe those gets a smaller one. And then I'm just gonna glue gun them around one by one. my god, it's so cute. And while you have your glue gun out, oh my god, I can't even take the cuteness factor. Look at this, we can make a little hanger. Maybe it's your mother's birthday. You can just lay that right in that puddle of, ouch, don't get burned. Ooh, actually, you know what? That would be super cute if it was actually a tie. I'm gonna leave that nice and long. We're gonna make a bow tie there. And then another long strip. This is just twine or jute or whatever the heck it's called. Put this on this side. Oh yeah, let it really sink in there. And we can make a cute little bow at the top. Oh, try not to do what I'm doing. You can even do another layer on top if you want to really give it some extra go-to power. Oh my goodness, how cute is this little raggedy muffin? It's got the buttons on there. You could even take a stamp and stamp this if you wanted to. Stamps work really well over the Mod Podge. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, so if you want to, now that these are all glued on, you could totally feel free to go through and add a whole nother layer of Mod Podge over the whole thing. This is where I got into sealing my work with Mod Podges. Actually, I used to work with kids. And so, you know, I'd be like, oh geez, they're gonna come home and their little toddler brother or sister is gonna be trying to get the buttons off. So the way to like seal, really reinforce everything would be put a whole nother layer over here. Okay, and then you could be done. If you're working in an art journal, however, if you're working in an art journal, okay, you don't want your last layer to be Mod Podge. And it says it right here. It says, to eliminate tackiness, right here, apply clear acrylic sealer over cured Mod Podge, 100%. Okay, so this is my go-to. I just buy it at Michael's with my coupon, but Mod Podge makes a spray sealer that works over Mod Podge, which I can't find. I do own it, but I can't find it. But any acrylic sealer finisher you want last as your step. Okay, especially if you're working in your art journals, because your pages will stick if Mod Podge is your last step. Or it will totally stick if, like, you're using a gloss medium on your page somewhere. Okay, you have to use the spray. It battles against all the tackiness. Okay, stay tuned next week because we're going to be doing more on scrapbooking papers and collage and how to use them for your mixed media projects. So here's a playlist that you can watch that has other projects on it, and I hope you enjoyed today's demonstration, that you learned tons. Share the video to your favorite Facebook groups and friends, and happy arting!